What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's James Conti here, and I am here with an absolute legend from New Zealand himself, Bailey. What's going on, dude?
Oh, nothing much, bro. How you going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm pumped to be here because we've had a very fun journey so far, you and I.
Yep. Yeah, it's been busy.
Sure has, man. Bailey, for those of you who don't know, you may have seen all my stories on Instagram. Bailey started off as a student of ours, what, 6 weeks ago? 7 weeks ago? What do you reckon?
Yeah, 6 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies, man.
Yeah.
6 weeks ago, and he came in, absolutely aced it as a beginner, crushing it, making sales, learning the skills. And today, what I wanted to do is do a really casual interview with you, Bailey, and kind of go through sort of your experience going from brand new to this stuff, skeptical as hell with this stuff, but jumping in, learning the skills, getting some great results. And now we're really starting to look at hitting some bigger goals and sort of just go through what that's like, take away some lessons for the people watching at home, and kind of document that journey. What do you reckon?
Yep. Sounds good, bro.
Awesome. Well, I guess first things first, man. What were you doing before this?
Just full time in work, hey, which I'm still doing. But yeah, I just kind of was full time in work and came home and moseyed on video games and played with the daughter and stuff. But now it's just get home from work and it's into this and it's good. It's exciting though, eh?
Sure. Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. What were you, I guess, what was driving you in the first place to even be crazy enough to look into online business?
Wow. I want I want my family to be a bit more comfortable, and I'm not a big fan of the 9 to 5s.
For sure.
That
Not
was
many people
basically about it.
are. Okay, got you. And I'm assuming you were, I guess, thinking about doing something like this for a while before we got in contact, right?
Yeah, yeah, I've always had this sort of thing in my head that I need a second income that
Mm,
can hopefully go into as primary income.
for sure. For sure, man. And I guess with that being said, you were thinking about it for a while. What kind of different things did you look into before we got in contact and we started working together?
I was sort of this type of thing in e-commerce, but I don't know, I guess there was some like online trading
Mhm.
too. And
Okay.
it was actually, besides that, it was kind of just putting my name out there to do casual stuff at someone's place or something, handyman. But
Right. Handyman, yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, interesting because I remember we had our chat, and I remember I think it was at the gym when we were talking, and
Yeah.
so we were going back and forth. I was sending you voice messages, and it sounded like I was in a nightclub, but we were having a good chat, and we ended up getting you on board, which was really really exciting. And so, tell me about that experience from going from completely brand new to sort of making your first sale online with the system. Like, what was that sort of whole thing like?
It probably took about a week from when I first signed up to getting a first sale or just over, but it was good, man. Like the videos all that you put us through, they basically you can't go wrong. It's step by step. It tells you exactly how to set it up. And the best thing is obviously we set it up so we learn it all, you know? But it was awesome. It was, and then once we got the business sort of started and started getting some listings, and then we basically started getting messages straight away. And then yeah, a couple of days after that, and maybe 3 or 4 days after I had put my first listing up, I got my first sale, and then yeah, it started just coming along from there.
That's awesome, man. What was the first sale like? How'd you feel?
Yeah, I felt mean. It was only like $15-20 profit, but it felt good,
Of course,
you
man.
know?
Of course. Dude, that first sale is everything, man. Doesn't matter if it's like $20 or $200 million. Like it's
Yeah,
the first sale, just the fact that you did it is incredible. And what's really, really
yeah,
interesting that I found is that, once you make that first sale, that goes from, oh, can I do this to holy shit, I'm doing this. And then
yeah,
your confidence goes up and you get really hungry. And the funny thing as well is that I find a lot of beginners initially, they go for sort of lower price products just so they can get their first sale. And
yeah,
then even though it's not a lot of money, because they're just a little bit nervous about charging too much, they make their first sale and then they just go crazy with it. And I don't know if you've started experimenting with it yet, but we've got a lot of clients who after they make their first sale, they start going for some high price stuff. Like Drashti or Jason, for example, we've seen in the group who are doing, $500 sales, $1,000 sales. And the
yeah,
funny thing about it is that it's no harder to sell something for $20 than it is for $200 or
yeah,
$500. It really isn't,
100%.
which is really cool. And so now, if you wanted to, you can go ahead and start going for those high price products and really generating a lot more profit per sale, which is really fun. But dude, the first sale, regardless of how much it is, everything.
Yeah.
100%, man. 100%. And so, I guess with that being said, made your first sale, start pumping along, right? Did you ever think about quitting in that first week before you got to that first sale?
Nah, no way. I didn't think about quitting, but I was like, oh, when's this first sale coming? Because within those like first 3 or 4 days, I probably had about 100 messages.
Yeah.
and I didn't have that sale, and I was like going on that Monday night call with Emmett, and I was like, "What's going on? What's happening? What am I bad with?" Then Emmett helped me tweak a few things in my messages, and yeah, it kind of went from there. But it's kind of it's all a learning curve,
Yeah.
the whole thing of it. If there's a couple messages that you're constantly saying and it's not really working, you're not really getting that many hits or replies, you change it up, you learn from your mistakes, and then you go from there.
Yes, 100%. What's really cool about the online game in general is that it really can be a case of like, oh, it's not working. And you make one tiny little change. And it's like, oh, now it's working. Boom, like, we're off. It
Yeah,
really is sometimes like that because it really comes down to it's less of an art, it's more of a science. Like, there really is a science to all of this stuff, even the messaging stuff, marketplace, right?
yeah,
There really is a science to it. And if you get it right, which is a lot of the early sort of beginner learning curve stuff, once you've got it, you nail it. And whether it takes you 4 days, 6 days, or 8 days, once you get there, you get there. And
yeah,
it's quite funny. Sometimes we have students who come and bless their souls, they absolutely crush it right afterwards. But they'll come to us and they'll say, "Hey, listen, I've been here for 4 days. Why haven't I made a first sale?" And I'll say, "All right, imagine this. Imagine you go up to Elon Musk, right? And you say, hey, listen, I started my very first business. I'm brand new to this, and I haven't made any money in the first 4 days." He would probably slap you and tell you to get out, right?
yeah,
It's just ridiculous. And so we're
yeah,
very lucky to be in a place where we have these systems that allow us to still make your first sale within a week. Is crazy, So I'm glad that you got to experience that. It's really,
yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
So with that being said, through the beginner program, as you went through that whole process, you're making sales, you're learning how to find products, getting better and better and better each day. What would you say were the biggest things that you learned that were the most helpful for you? Was it like the product research stuff? Was it like how to communicate with customers? Like anything along those lines? Like what do you think was the most beneficial thing that you learned?
Yeah, it could be communicating with the customers, although I guess I'm a people person, so I
Yeah.
sort of all right with that. But I mean, I guess again, in the little tweaking of messages, you definitely need to tweak your things here and there to adapt to them, and all the little smileys, which seems to really work engaging people. But
Yes.
yeah, I'd probably say that.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, you've got the communication stuff down pat. I was talking to Hayden about this earlier, which is that, as you know, we teach the beginner program, Marketplace, eBay, and Etsy, three organic channels you can use to sell products online. And the reason we start with Facebook Marketplace first is really interesting because it is technically the hardest one because you have
Yeah,
to manage finding the right products and also be able to communicate with the customers. eBay and Etsy
yeah,
is just finding the products because everything else is sort of they just buy it when they're
yeah,
ready, right? And the reason why is because once you learn how to communicate with the customers and do all that stuff, everything else becomes the easiest thing in the world. Like easy, right? And so it's really good that you kind of came with a bit of an advantage. You cleared the gift of the gab a little bit. And so it makes it a little bit easier for you. But it's great, man. I love that. And so I guess with that being said, man, when it comes to the program, right? You went through the beginner program, course, the one-on-one coaching, we're all hands on deck, helping you get to that first sale and to get many more after that. What do you feel was the most helpful part of that? Why do you feel like the program specifically was able to accelerate you to that first sale as opposed to say doing it on your own?
definitely the one-on-one coach would be great.
Yeah,
Dan was awesome.
yeah,
Um,
that's great.
Yeah, I'd definitely say one-on-one coach, but also again, I guess the step-by-step instructions, how to start it up. There's the step one, step two, step three, and it's not even just the process of how to do it. All your guys' little other videos that some people may go, "Oh, this is why am I listening to this?" But it is still important, I reckon. Every single video is important. The step-by-steps.
100%. 100%. I'm glad you mentioned Dan actually. So Dan is your one-on-one coach. It's incredible. Um, if you didn't know, people didn't at home didn't know, anyone who is on the Ecom Boss team is a coach. Like nobody's allowed to be a coach on the team unless they became a student first. And that's not because when like people join the program to get a job, but we've had a few people who have become coaches of ours, and every single one of them, Emmett included, was a student of mine when they started out. And the reason for that is you can't really teach someone something you haven't done, right?
Yeah,
Can't be a karate teacher if you've never learned karate, right? It doesn't work that way. And so Dan's a really
100%.
interesting case because Dan became a client of mine a year and a half ago or so. And he is somebody who is practicing this stuff day in, day out. In fact, we were at the Sydney event a couple of weeks ago. And he shows up to the event. He was like, "Yeah, I spent a bit more time on Marketplace this weekend while I was like getting ready for the event. I made $900 profit. Check this out." And he was like showing it to all the other students who are working with him, and they're like, "Oh my God, like this guy is like actually practicing what he preaches."
Yeah,
It's so cool because you get to work with
yeah,
someone who's actually doing it as well, which is
yeah,
great. You know, I love it. And so
100%.
I guess with that being said, man, like what's the end goal? Now we're sort of really starting to accelerate, be more consistent. We're going to some more advanced stuff. what's like your 3 to 6 month goal with us? Obviously, we're aware of it and we're working with you there and we're going to get you there. But for the people at home, sort of what's the 3 to 6 month goal that you're looking to hit with this stuff?
3 to 6 month goal would be definitely definitely a few K profit or a bit more than that. I don't want to say too much for all the people starting and stuff, but
Yeah,
I'd also like to have this as a primary income. I'd like to be doing this sort of full time so I can sort of have that more daytime with my family and stuff, as opposed to the slave 9 to 5 job.
I get you, dude. I get
But
you.
yeah, it's definitely the long-term goal would be doing this as primary income and just to have a bit more time for the family, a bit more cash in the pocket.
I love it, man. And you're on the right track, man. The fact that in 6 weeks you've gone from brand new to making sales consistently as a beginner, still without spending any money on ads, building any websites or anything along those lines, and now we're starting to ramp that up and go to some more advanced stuff. You're on the right track. The only thing that's going to slow you down is if you suddenly decide to stop
Yeah,
and not be consistent, which I know you're not going to do, which is phenomenal. I guess with that being said, one last thing, man. Imagine that you were talking to Bailey when he started, brand new, nervous, skeptical, unsure, doesn't know what the right next step is. If you were talking to him, what would you say if he wanted to get to where you are right now and even to that goal we're talking about 3 to 6 months from now? Like, what would you say is the best thing he should be doing?
just do it. Just do it. It would probably, yeah, do it. Take take the necessary time, maybe each night, to actually be consistent. Like you say in all your videos, consistency is key, and it is. It's shown it is.
I love it, dude. I love it. And you've embodied that really well, man. We're proud of you. I can't imagine we're going to be 3 to 6 months from now. We're gonna have to do like some sort of like follow-up interview to see where you're
Yeah,
at. I
yeah,
have no doubt
sweet,
in my mind, man. You're pretty far ahead, and I'm excited for you, man. I
sweet.
want to say thank you for hopping on board and joining us interview, sharing some knowledge with everyone. And for those of you who are at home, if you have any questions for myself or Bailey, drop in the comment section. We're here, happy to give you whatever you need, answer any questions. And for those of you at home, if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about Ecom Boss, I am a real person. If you couldn't tell by now, if you want to, don't be shy. Message me on Instagram. It's linked in the description box below. I'll send you a voice message and we can go back and forth and see if Ecom Boss is a good fit for you. And we can go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a killer one. And Bailey, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day for this interview.
Sweet, no worries.
Awesome. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.